For more than 100 years, oil refineries have been the engines of our world. But, all that power has come with a pretty big price tag for the planet. Well, something massive is changing, a shift that could totally rewrite the rulebook on how we make fuel. So let's dive into the world of green refineries.
And this slide, this really gets to the heart of it all. On one side, you've got the old way, right? We drill for crude oil, turn it into fuel, and in the process, we create emissions. But now look at the other side. The new way completely turns that on its head. We actually take CO2, the greenhouse gas, and we combine it with renewable energy to create clean fuel. It's a total switch from a straight line of pollution to a circle of sustainability.
So, let's talk about the problem we're actually trying to fix here. For decades, we've been in what some people call a fossil fuel lock-in. I mean, think about it. Our entire world, our economies, our daily lives, it's all built around oil. And yeah, that's given us amazing progress, but it's also chained us to emissions and this constant need for a resource that's, running out. But what if we could pick that lock? This is where the hero of our story comes in, the Green Refinery. You can basically think of it as a carbon recycling plant. It's a whole new model designed to swap out the old way of doing things and, forge a totally new path for energy.
Okay, so what is a green refinery? Well, picture a regular oil refinery. Now keep that picture, but just change the ingredients. Instead of crude oil, the raw materials are carbon dioxide and something called green hydrogen. And the end result? Clean synthetic fuels. You might hear them called e-fuels, that are basically the same stuff we use today, just made in a much, much cleaner way.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds a little like science fiction, right? But it's so important to get this. This is not a dream for 50 years from now. This is happening today. It's real. It just takes three things we already have: applied chemistry, renewable energy, and a real drive for climate action, and puts them all together. It's all about connecting the dots.
All right, so if we're going to make this new kind of fuel, we're going to need a recipe. And just like any great recipe, it starts with a couple of key ingredients. So let's break down what actually goes into one of these green refineries.
So ingredient number one is carbon dioxide. But here's the kicker. We're not making more of it. We're capturing the CO2 that's already out there. We can grab it right from factory smokestacks, we can literally pull it out of thin air using tech called direct air capture, or we can even use nature's own little carbon vacuums, like algae, to do the job for us.
And this right here is the big, mind-bending idea. For so long, we've thought of carbon dioxide as just waste, a pollutant we need to get rid of. This technology flips that idea on its head. Suddenly, carbon isn't waste anymore. It's a resource. It's a building block. It's a valuable raw material for the future of our energy.
Our second key ingredient is green hydrogen, and that word green is absolutely crucial. It means we're making the hydrogen without using any fossil fuels. The main way to do this is called electrolysis. Use clean electricity from solar or wind to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. That's it. This is basically how you bottle sunshine and wind into a liquid fuel.
Okay, so we've got our ingredients, captured carbon, and green hydrogen. Now let's get to the fun part, the cooking process. This is where we take these raw materials and turn them into something really incredible.
The whole process really just boils down to 4 simple steps. 1. You capture the carbon. 2. You produce the green hydrogen. 3. And this is where the real chemistry magic happens, you react the CO2 and the hydrogen together using special catalysts. Think of catalysts as tiny matchmakers that get the reaction going super fast. And then, step 4, you've done it. Clean hydrocarbon fuels are created.
So when you strip it all down, what are we really looking at here? It's just carbon recycling. We're taking carbon that's already out there, either as pollution or just in the air, and we're turning it back into something useful. It's a closed loop, just on a huge industrial scale.
Okay, now for the million-dollar question. What actually comes out the other end? What are these amazing fuels? Well, the answer is probably the most practical and, frankly, the most powerful part of this whole story. Let's take a look.
See, the output isn't some weird, exotic new fuel you've never heard of. A green refinery can make the exact same fuels our world already runs on. We're talking green diesel for trucks, sustainable aviation fuel or SAF for jets, and even really important chemicals like methanol. It's an incredibly versatile system.
And this is the absolute game changer. These are what we call drop-in fuels. It means they're chemically identical to the fuels we get from oil. So you don't need a new kind of car engine or a redesigned airplane or new pipelines. You can literally pour this stuff right into the gas tank of the car you have today. This just wipes out one of the biggest roadblocks to a clean energy future.
So let's just zoom out for a second and think about the big picture. What does this all really mean?
This kind of technology doesn't just change how we make fuel, it changes how we think about our entire energy future.
So why does this matter so much? Well, for one, it crushes harmful emissions by recycling CO2. 2, it gives countries real energy security because they can make their own fuel from their own resources. And that, of course, leads to true energy independence, no longer tied to the whims of global oil markets. At the end of the day, it's about building a cleaner future based on innovation, not on extraction.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For pretty much all of human history, getting energy has meant digging something out of the ground. This new technology asks us to look up instead, to the air around us, and to the sun and the wind for power. So, what if the future of fuel doesn't come from below our feet, but from what's all around us? From carbon, from hydrogen, and from human innovation? Something to think about.